Hello again, sweet darlings. For those of you who are new here, welcome. I'm Elizabeth, a stepmom and a mom of 2 little girls as well, homemaking in the English countryside. I've journeyed a long way to get to where I am now and have been sharing weekly videos exploring femininity, instinctual mothering, and my journey to faith. Wherever you are on your journey towards a more beautiful, peaceful, and fulfilled life, it's lovely that you're here, and it would be lovely to have you subscribe so that we can visit again soon. Today I wanted to share with you a few realities of motherhood that struck me both the first and second time that I became a mum, as well as a bit of an insight into my life as a stay-at-home mum of 2 babies, 2 dogs, and various other projects trying to get off the ground, and a few habits that I'm trying to start and keep to this year to enjoy this time even more. Firstly, I don't think anything that anyone tells you about becoming a parent can actually prepare you for the reality. The union of you and your baby is totally unique. It's unlike any bond between any other mom and her baby, even if there are similarities. You have to learn your baby. Day by day, weeks and months go by before you really start to get to know one another. And the idea that a schedule, a gadget, or a method could fast-track this bonding process is setting up so many parents for disappointment. Babies aren't all the same, and most likely your life is not the life of the woman who's trying to sell you that method or gadget or product. That's not to say that I don't know mums who rave about sleep training or bottle feeding or anything else, but the point I'm trying to make is don't assume that it will work for you. Be hopeful, but think before you dive into a decision about you and your baby, and don't assume because it worked for your friend or your mom or your sister that it's going to work for you in your life. For example, nobody told me that it was a good idea to co-sleep with my baby. In fact, all of the healthcare professionals and everybody else in my life told me that it was dangerous to co-sleep, that I wouldn't get any sleep while doing so, and that it would be much better if my baby was in her own bed from the very beginning. But what nobody told me is that co-sleeping is the practice that offers the best quality sleep for mom and baby. Now for you, you might feel that getting up and out of your cozy bed 5 to 6 times a night to feed a baby won't bother you. I know that it would have bothered me. Or you might have to choose to have your baby in a cot in another room because, for example, your husband needs his sleep for work, you might share your room with other children, or you might have any other number of considerations coming into play. This is one of the many examples of how the norm or the promoted approach to parenting as a new mom may or may not suit you and your lifestyle or baby. When people tell you before you have kids to say goodbye to sleep, time for yourself, date nights, and all of that, what they don't tell you is something very important, that you have huge potential to evolve. Life with your husband doesn't stop because a baby arrives, and you have it within you to figure out a new way to connect with him, even if it's a short date night at home, or morning coffee dates, or using your parents as babysitters once in a while if that's an option. The way that society talks about kids and gets us to believe that our life is over if we have them ignores the simple truth that in our life we are always changing. New realities mean we change, we adapt, we think on our feet, or we think very deeply for a long time before coming to a new way forward for ourselves and our families. So just remember, you won't be the same person that you were before you had kids, but you also aren't the same person that you were when you were 10 or 13 or 17, so it really isn't as big of a deal as everybody makes it sound. Maybe we're afraid of change, afraid of having to do better for someone else. Certainly I've noticed that society and feminism has a massive issue with authority and responsibility, focusing instead on how you're the victim and it's never really your fault. With kids, it's always your fault, so prepare yourself for that. Yes, they threw their food on the floor, but next time don't give them so much. Yes, they shouldn't have tried to hit their baby sister, but you were wasting time on your phone and you didn't notice that they were bothering each other. These 2 examples are from my own experience. I'm not here to judge any mom out there. When society tells us to say goodbye to X, Y, or Z as a parent and ingrains in us how hard parenting is and how we will never be the same, it encourages us to slip into negative habits of thought when those moments of hardship, tears, or exploding nappies do arrive. You're tempted to wail, to bemoan, and say, if only my baby slept through the night like her baby, or I must be doing something terribly wrong because little Johnny isn't eating solid food yet, or I am so angry I don't get time to read my book anymore, and my body hurts, and I haven't done my makeup in weeks, and I want a holiday, please. I know because I've been there, and it's hard to pull yourself out of this little or very long moment of wallowing and say, hey, I get to wipe the butt of this beautiful baby, or okay, date nights are something I really miss, but maybe I can find a solution to fit them in at lunchtime. Or, you know what, it's time I simplified my beauty routine anyway, and as a result I might treat myself to some nice new products. I learned a lot of this the first time around, that you have a choice in those early moments of motherhood to start telling yourself that you're suffering, or you can reframe the sacrifices you're making for that beautiful baby as a very special thing, which it is. Again, I just want to emphasize to you all here that I am not perfect. A lot of these things I've learned the hard way, and I'm still learning to perfect them. I can stay calm even when I'm sick and tired, for example, but then I lose my cool when we're out and about because I was hoping for a nice time with my family. I don't have my baby's nap time sorted, so I'm behind on a few chores by the end of the day, which I then have to quietly sneak around to do, or they're hanging over me the next morning. But you know what? That's okay. It's far more than okay, really. As a mom of two who's also checking in with our dogs, chickens, and working on business ideas when I can, there are a few things that still help me to relish this time of my life without feeling lack or that I'm going without things because I'm a mom. Number one is I hide my phone. It's a waste of time most of the time, and I found it much more satisfying to treat myself to phone time once or twice a day when my children are asleep and I can catch up with messages. Please note, I'm not very good at this yet, and it's also a bit of a struggle at the moment to balance phone time with the fact that I'm filming and editing all of these videos on my phone. Number two is being outdoors. It's such a joy to see children being children in nature, spending 30 moments moving dirt around, chasing chickens, jumping in puddles. Try to give yourself and your children that time of pure joy and exploring at least once a day, if not more. And sunshine really is good for your soul, I believe. Number three is teaching through play. I do like to get tasks done and ticked off a list so that I can then sit down to relax at the end of the day. But I've realized that while I'm doing this, I can play with my toddler, teaching her and keeping her happy with a bit of play and keeping myself happy because we're actually making dinner while doing funny little voices and her animals come along, as you can see here. We're gardening, we're planting some seeds, but we're playing and we're chatting at the same time. Number four is apologizing to your kids. It's amazing how quickly my toddler will forgive me, and I actually love the fact that she'll tell me now if I'm being grumpy or if she's feeling sad. By expressing those emotions myself, I can also show her how to move past them. Yes, I was upset, but now I'm feeling better and I need a hug. Number five is sorting things out ahead of time. One of the best things that I've started doing in this last year has been laying out the clothes for me and both babies the night before, as has been preparing something simple for our breakfast so that when I wake up I can eat and get us all dressed without too much fuss. I'm sure that any mom watching this or even grandmothers out there will know that it takes years to sort out your mothering. Even if you feel joyful about it and you manage to relish it right from the beginning, you still face challenges and the mirror held up to say once in a while, you can do better there, or that really isn't working anymore. Really, I just want to convey to you that just because it might be hard to learn on the job of motherhood, it doesn't mean that you can't learn. You will always be learning your kids and learning about yourself in the process. Unpicking your childhood, letting go of bad habits, adjusting to new demands, and so much more. So please be patient with yourself, and have a little faith that if you can identify the issue, you can probably also come up with a great solution for your family. You don't have to parent like anyone else or take anyone's advice. You don't even have to take mine if you don't feel that it suits your situation or your children's unique needs. So take that pressure off to compete. Listen politely and say thanks if someone offers advice, and then discern for yourself if it's actually useful or not. Above all, make sure that you're chatting all of these things over with your husband and get his support where you need it. Even as a stay-at-home mom, you can't do it all, and dads have such a vital role to play in childhood. Through rough play, discipline, showing kids new skills, and adventuring with them, those memories last a lifetime and give kids important confidence boosts as well. Try to identify with your husband's help the times of day or particular tasks that are difficult for you and why, and try to listen to his ideas with an open mind and be open to new schedules or ways of doing things, even if you hadn't expected to do them that way or you agree that it's on a trial basis. I know that on my own motherhood journey, when something isn't a focus, I can be guilty of just going through the motions, not knowing why I should do it or if it's being done in the best way. But all of those little moments in your day can make a difference. If you can have a peaceful breakfast, a good nap, or read aloud for 20 minutes to your toddler while your baby has a little sleep on you. I hope that this video encourages you on your motherhood journey to keep loving your family and doing your best without feeling disheartened that you haven't perfected it yet. None of us have. We can all just keep striving to be the best moms that we can be. Thank you so much again for tuning into this video. I hope to see you all here again soon for the next one. But in the meantime, take good care everyone, and God bless.